My name is Gustavo Cortez. I'm an artificial intelligence automation consultant here at NanoNets. I was told to give you a little bit about my background and some personal stuff, so I'll do that. I like to train Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I am colorblind, if you guys care. It's red-green colorblind for anyone that knows about it. It's actually 1 in 11 men are colorblind, so not that uncommon. I was raised in Mexico for the first 10 years of my life, and then I moved to the US, and then I moved here to London a couple of years ago. Let's see, I still like to play video games. I am currently finishing up The Last of Us 2. I know that it's old. I am also really excited for this vacation I have coming up in Tuscany with my wife and some of our friends. So yeah, that's a little bit about me. Let us start talking about the subject at hand, which is transforming invoice coding with artificial intelligence. Now, we're going to talk about invoice coding, right? And specifically how to improve and add efficiencies to this with AI. Now, most of the people in this room will know that invoice coding is important, but for the people that joined and don't know a lot about GL coding and invoice coding, I'll just explain the basis of it. Coding your invoices, so coding your invoices allows you to understand where you're spending and revenue sources. So I'll give you guys some examples. Restaurants, right? When you spend at a restaurant, when you buy when you buy a meal with your colleagues, that might go in the meal code, right? It's me and Sasan's favorite. When HR decides to upgrade the computer monitors, this maybe would go into the office supplies code, right? And the code will be 1005 as an example. Let's say when I buy an airplane ticket to visit a client in Germany, that might go into the transportation code, right? And when you codify these things, it allows businesses, it allows the controllers, right, the finance folk at your company, to identify areas of concern and potential sources of revenue. It's an essential, if you guys probably know this, a little boring part of the business that the accounting and the finance teams usually own. I already did this one. So the agenda, what are we going to talk about today? 3 things. We're going to do the current process of invoice coding, how AI can transform your invoice coding workflow and just your invoice workflow, right? We'll go through a case study. And then if you guys have any questions that I could answer or my team can answer, then we'll go through those as well. Now, NanoNets was founded a little over 8 years ago. We have over 34% of the Fortune 500 companies working with us. We have over 170 employees. Our investors are Excel, Elevation, Y Combinator, Browser Stack. We've raised over $42 million. We're in over 50 countries, which I find really cool. And I won't bore you with the logos that are on the top right, but there they are. Now, Sasank, do you mind putting up the poll of how much it costs to process an invoice on average while I go through the slides? So here we have challenges faced in 2024 around invoice coding. And really, it's challenges faced always, right? Since invoice coding became a thing. The annoying part of it is that it's manual. It's time consuming. It's not creative. No one wants to do it. It's boring. It's error prone. It's data entry work. And it also lacks standardization, and it's difficult to integrate with existing databases and ERPs. Now, I'm assuming you guys saw the poll come in. If you didn't, there is on the bottom right of your screen, you'll see a triangle, square, and circle. Click in it and click into the poll. Sasank, are they coming in?
Yep. They are coming in.
Oh, I'm seeing it. All right. Most of you guys are wrong. I'm seeing a lot of $1 and $2 for how much it takes to process invoices. I'm seeing one correct answer. And here it is. It takes $6 to process one invoice on average, right? And don't take this from me. Don't take it from NanoNets, especially because we didn't do the research. The American Productivity and Quality Center actually ran this. And if you think about it, it makes sense, right? It requires a lot of time, a lot of effort to like maybe 30 minutes to process an invoice. And that is probably already more than $6. So how can we help? How can AI resolve these issues? AI is a lot faster than people at data entry. It's also a lot more accurate, and it doesn't get tired like we do. You just keep it plugged in and it's good to go. But it's a lot more accurate in the data extraction and GL coding department. And when you pair this with a workflow automation, it allows you to automatically pair and update your ERPs and notify you. So I'm going to talk about the 3 things that AI does. First of all, it's the data extraction piece. This is an invoice, right? You can see that it just picked up that it's number 6. It picked up the date. You can see the line amount, the subtotal, the buyer address. The big thing with AI is that you just have to ask it, hey, Tavo, I want A, B, C, X, Y, Z data points, and it'll pick it up for you, right? Some key fields would be, as I said, name, address, invoice amount, PO number, and it'll just extract it for you. So this is the data entry part, right? You have it. The next is the actual like automated AI-driven GL coding. So before you used to have to look at an invoice, look at a line item, and then look somewhere else to like what was it? Right, like professional services is 210 6,000. Maybe if you get really good at it, this process gets a little bit faster, but like you are still having to find your GL codes and type them in. Now, artificial intelligence allows you to let the computer do the work. So here you see the description is consultants. And obviously for this particular use case, professional services cost is the GL code, and it's tied to 210 6,000. And this is done like automatically mapped. If it for some reason gets it wrong, which it does, right? Just like I get things wrong, rarely. Then you just train the AI and say, hey, it's actually not pharmacy costs. It's a professional services cost. So make sure you put that in memory so that you don't forget it next time. Now, AI itself is great, right? You have your data pulled, you have your GL coding mapped to the descriptions, and that's all good. But it gets a lot more useful when the intelligence connects to the rest of your software. It's important to connect your invoices and information to your ERPs, right, for tracking and compliance. Just talk to your controller, talk to your CFO, they'll let you know. And when you couple AI and a automated workflow, your days just become so much faster, so much easier, and so much error-free. And a lot of the cost savings are around that, right? Becoming faster and becoming less error-free, because that, again, turns you to be a little bit faster. No one has to like check someone's error. And by the way, I'm not knocking anyone that makes errors. It's just part of the invoice process right now. Okay, so I am going to give you guys a quick demo on invoices and invoice coding. But before that, Sasank, do you mind pulling up the poll that shows you how much it actually costs to to process an invoice if you have AI and a good workflow automation? And give me the yes verbally so I know that it's happening.
Yep, it's live.
Cool. All right, so you guys answer the poll while I go through this demo. Okay, you guys are seeing this, right? You guys are seeing global corporation. You guys are seeing some line items. Let me actually make this full width. What I want you guys to know, and this is NanoNets, right? Now I'm giving you guys our product, how we solve this with AI. We have all these data fields, right? And some of them aren't filled in, and the reason for that is because they don't exist on the document. But if you go to PO number, right, this does exist, so it should exist on the right-hand side. If you go to global corporation, so the logo or the brand, it should exist on the right-hand side. Net days, 45, right? Every single bit of information that you want to pull from the document will be able to be pulled. And if you have more information that you want pulled that just doesn't exist, then it'll leave it blank. But for the thing that we all came here to talk about, it's invoice coding. So we have descriptions here, right? Pipe, trap, repair, coupling. You as a business know what these are, right? And you know what the GL code is. And usually it takes some time and effort to actually map it. Again, as I said earlier, with AI, you don't have to, right? So this line item, this description is, let's see, where is it? Oh yeah, this is the pipe, a PVC pipe, and it's mapped to GL code 1000. Usually you can even add maybe a little note here that construction supplies, right? Or something like that. And let's see, what's this one? This other PVC pipe or this other coupling description might be matched to invoice 1002. And if it got it wrong, again, all you have to do is map it to this. Boom. So how does it do this, right? How does it know? The answer is in the workflow. So by the way, you can import it from anywhere you want, right? This is via emails. Here's the AI model. And then the data actions actually has a drop-down field that allows you to add your GL codes. In this case, we did it with a CSV. So the external source, what you're mapping it to, what you're mapping these descriptions is into, in our case, into a CSV. But you can do it, let's see, you can do it through literally anything. Sage, QuickBooks, Salesforce, Zoho Books, Xero, right? For the purposes of the demo, we just did a quick GL CSV. Now it knows what to look for, right? You've already put it in, like you've already uploaded. It knows what to look for. It knows what the description is, and it'll map it automatically for you. That's kind of the magic that I wanted you guys to see. So, and I'll just teach you a little bit later, right? So let's say you have your final results, everything's mapped, everything's good. Now on to the approvals. Let's say you guys have, if the invoice is less than $5,000, then just have the department head okay it. If it's more than 5,000, then it should go to the CFO. I don't know your rules. Some of you guys have simple enough rules. Some of you guys have really robust rules. The point is that you can add, right? You can add a review stage. You can do almost anything you want here with the approvals. Let's say the total amount wasn't present, right? Then send it over to Gustavo Cortez. He's the one that like checks errors. And then you export it. In this case, it's into Sage. But again, the sky's the limit. We have a tons of pre-built options. But if we don't have it, then we can integrate via API. So back to the slide. Let's see how you guys are doing. 50 cents, $1. All right, you guys are actually getting it right this time. And maybe we made it too easy. The answer is it goes down from $6 to around 10 cents with NanoNets. And this is because all the errors, right? All the manual data entry, all the things that are just that humans have to deal with, the AI just doesn't have to deal with. Now, NanoNets does this extraction, the extraction piece with unmatched capability. And the reason for that is that we're agnostic in the technologies that we use. If Textract does the best job at extracting the information, right, or at reading the document, then we will use Amazon Textract. If Azure works best, then we'll use Azure. If Google works best, we'll use Google. Basically, we find the right engine, the right vision for your particular use case, and we'll use that because we don't mind, right? We love Amazon, we love Azure, we love Google. It's just like what is best for the client. And here you see that Textract got this sweet melon wrong. It actually didn't even pull sweet melon or the 20 or the 50, and it confused the 1,000 to be on the line item above for some reason with the watermelon. And NanoNets just got it right because it used the correct engine for this correct use case, or for this use case. So you see the sweet melon, the quantity is 20, right? Each one is 50, and it ends up being 1,000 total. So on to the case study. ACM Services is a full service environment remediation contractor, and it's based in Maryland. Now, what is a full service environment remediation contractor? For you guys, that's not very important, right? What I need you guys to understand is that they were doing invoices with us, and they were spending literal months on this. And by months, I mean 8-hour days. So they spent 1,040 man hours on doing invoices, on doing the coding, etc. And if you do the math, right, with 8-hour days, it ends up being a little over 4.3 work months. And then what happened? The invoices were captured incorrectly, right? And because of this, time was wasted, and it needed more checks, it needed more approvals, et cetera, et cetera. And due to this, there were delayed payments, right? So they came to us, and we digitized this whole process. We imported their invoices via email because that's how they wanted to do it. And we extracted the information, right? And then we matched the vendor in the GL code CSV file that they gave to us. We validated and verified the information, and at the end, we sent it over to their accounting software. It turned from doing invoices in 1 week to 1 day, and yeah, that's huge, right? Someone that's doing something for a week and then it turns into a day, that's big time. Now, other success stories, right? We have pro partners, and what they wanted to do was increase their straight through processing. So this is their STP rate. It was in the low teens, right? I think it was actually maybe mid-teens, 14%. And we got that up to over 80%, which was big for them. And what we did was we processed their invoices and fed the data directly into QuickBooks. The accuracy shot up to 95%. And then SaltPay down here, they're a company in London. They were managing thousands of invoices manually in SAP. And when you're doing it manually, it's just really slow. And NanoNets processed invoices and uploaded them directly into SAP. Now they have over 100,000 vendors, right? So you can see how much time this would take. The time savings was over 99%. Again, I will not bore you with the logos. I'll name 3. We have EY, Toyota, and Procter & Gamble. So yeah, this is just to show that companies really like the product that we provide for them. Okay, are there any Q&A? I mean, are there any questions that we can answer? And Sasank, turn on the question section, please.
Yep. And we have a first question. A question is from Sahil. Does this work for multi-page invoice?
Yes, yeah, of course it does. We have companies that have just one-page invoices, and then we have companies that have line items that make the invoices be 100 pages, and I'm not kidding. So yes, the sky's the limit. What's the next question?
I understand. Okay, it's a long question. So I understand your company is located in US, but I would like to inquire whether NanoNet supports other languages such as French, specifically different formatting conventions in French. Could this present a potential issue?
Oh, fine. The answer is, I'll give you different parts of the answers. NanoNets can read and identify over 50 different languages, so I wouldn't worry about French, right? Like we have Hindi, Arabic, Vietnamese, any language that you could probably think of. We have Hebrew, and also all the Romance languages, Germanic languages, all the language that you guys can think of, we probably have. Now, if you're thinking like you do, instead of what I'm used to, a decimal point, right? You do commas to differentiate 100 from 1000. The answer is we can handle all sorts of different conventions. I wouldn't worry about it. But if you want to ask further, drop me an email, gustavo@nanonets.com. Or actually, Sasank will provide a Calendly link to schedule something, but I wouldn't be worried about it. Go ahead, Sasank.
Yeah, everyone. We'll be dropping a Calendly link to set up a call with our team for any such specific use cases. And you can take it up later with our team so that we can understand your use case better and give appropriate suggestions. And
Right.
that way, NanoNets is very flexible in understanding client needs, and our model is also capable enough to understand your unique cases, adapt to it, and also we can help you configure the same.
Yeah.
Thanks. The next question is from Huzefa. How good is it with handwritten text?
That's a good question. Husefa, the answer is it's as good as, so think about like really bad handwriting, right? It might not be able to do chicken scratch handwriting, but if it's good enough handwriting, then it'll pick it up. In the same way that you and I won't be able to read really, really bad handwriting, but we'll be able to read good handwriting just fine. And even bad handwriting that's pretty legible, it'll be able to do. So the answer is it depends on the handwriting. Any others, Sasank?
Yeah, let's, in brevity of time, let's just take one more question. Can NanoNets do PO-based matching?
Yeah, of course we can. And that's huge for AP teams. Yeah, and we don't just do PO-based matching, right? We can do two-way matching on anything, on a database, on a PO. The answer is yes, we do PO-based matching. Two-way, three-way matching, right? All of it.
Yeah, I see that there are a few more questions, but brevity of time, we have to probably just pause here. To everyone else, in case you have further questions, I just dropped a link in the chat for setting up a call with our team. They'll definitely talk to you, understand your unique requirements, and then take it forward and provide your solution. And NanoNets has done it in the past and is capable solution and a team to address your unique needs. So looking forward to interacting with you all. and thanks for attending the webinar.
Thanks, guys. Thanks, Sasank. I appreciate it.